In other news tonight, you've probably heard the phrase, the customer is always right. Well, truth is, it's the mission of the Consumer Protection Commission. Carla Palmer reports on some important consumer stats officials revealed today.
Since consumers file complaints against any business for any defective goods at the Consumer Protection Commission, the Commission's Senior Supervisor of Education, Research and Training, LaVar Darling, revealed at the Office of the Prime Minister's weekly press briefing Thursday that one of the most common rights of consumers that continues to be abused has resulted in the Commission instituting a refund and receipt campaign.
We realize when we analyze our stats and we look back at our cases, we found that a common denominator was persons just wanting to exchange an item. Right, for whatever reason. Ladies, you might purchase a shoe, you wear it once, the heel falls off, no fault of yours. You want to return it. They tell you you have to accept a store credit. You cannot get a refund. You say you want a cash refund. They say no. That is illegal. According to the Consumer Protection Act, it provides the conditions under which you can receive a cash refund. That is your choice. The right to choose is a basic consumer right. And anybody who tries to deprive you of that right to choose by dictating to you as a consumer that you have to accept a store credit, whereby you may want a cash refund or exchange the item, that is a violation of the Act. Store policies are not the law of the land.
According to Darling, the complaints are continuing to escalate in various areas, negatively impacting the tourism and banking sectors. Problems, he maintains, must be addressed, as tourism is the country's lifeblood.
There are certain stores on Bay Street that are targeting our tourists, particularly our cruise ship passengers, right? They would purchase an item for X amount of dollars, and they give you some free items. And when these tourists get back to their home, they find that their credit card has been charged $10,000, $15,000 for an item that really should have cost only what they agreed to purchase. That doesn't cause a major concern for us. We're working with the other relevant agencies to address that. Another area of concern for us is credit and debit card fees, right? That's something that comes up quite regularly, right? Because the Merchant Services Agreement for using a credit card stipulates that you're not supposed to have a minimum purchase and you're not supposed to be charging a convenience fee to use your credit or debit card. So that is a matter of major concern for us. And how are we addressing it? We had a meeting recently with Central Bank to speak about that, and we did. And one of the things that came out of the meeting is that we're going to be looking at introducing legislation to actually enforce the Merchant Services Agreement.
The Consumer Protection Commission is also lobbying to update the 1969 Burial Ground Act, as the mortuary industry remains unregulated.
We want to strengthen our legislation, right, to be able to deal with these type of complaints. And in that regard, I'd like to say that it's unfortunate, but we've had draft amendments to our legislation in draft form. They remain in draft form from 2018. So we are appealing to the AG and our minister to assist us in getting that legislation amended.
Darling is of the view that in some instances, merchants themselves may be unaware of consumer protection policies. And so, as a statutory body operating under the Act of 2006, he feels the overall consumer protection legislation needs an upgrade. However, in the interim, he says education is the key to sound financial literacy. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.